Brush to another tutorial we did with Mr. Lee. In this tutorial, we are going to be looking at the basic requirement for adding blog posts to our Tushy blog. So, first of all, the this thing we need to know is the fields, like the column names for our blog posts. So for that, let's go to the template. So on the aspect of the template, I'm going to look at Tushy first, and I'm going to look for blogs on Tushy. Let's go to the home page. On the home page, you're going to see section for blogs. So on the blog section here, you can see recent post. So you see the post. The post has, first of all, there is date. Actually, this date we can use our created art that Laravel provides to bring out this date. The next one is the minute it was read. So we have a minute it was read. Let me use my notes to actually edit this so it will be easier for me to follow. Let me add one here. So we have we'll call this 2 minutes read duration. Call this duration. Next one here is the title. So we have title. Then this is actually description. Description. And for this, you have written by Boilerplate with an image. So this is actually the user that actually made this post. So for this, I'm just going to put user underscore ID to get the user that actually made the post. Let's go to the blog itself. I think just the title. Okay, in the blog they actually have something else after the duration, which is the category the blog belongs to. So for that, we are going to be using category ID too. Think think that's just it. Okay. Towards the last part of it, also they have what we call tags. So would be adding tags to our blog. Um, yes, that's it. Let's check for the dashboard blog. The same thing here. Okay, every blog also have an image, so we'd include this image to our blog, to our list. As these are the column fields for the table. Then we've talked about category ID, we've talked about title, and here is description. Let me click on it too to see what's there. So they have the title, they have an image, description, and tags. So I think basically these fields 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 will be the various fields we'll be using for our blog post. So now having known the columns for our blog post, we are going to create a controller for our blog post. Now if you have the extension installed, that's the Laravel extension pack, you can use this command Ctrl Shift P to create a new controller. And we are going to be using a resource controller for this particular blog post. Resource controller. I would explain what resource controller is when we finish creating it. So we'll check for PHP Artisan make controller. So we'll call the name of the controller. We're going to be putting that controller inside of the admin folder in our controller. So we'll put admin / post controller. So give this. Now you see this part where they say basic resource or API. You click on resource. Should it reference a model? For now, we don't have a model, so we can just put. Okay, before we create this, actually, let's create a model. So the model we are going to be creating is a post model, so that in creating this, we can actually reference a model. So the same thing with, or let me just use the terminal to do this. So PHP Artisan make column model post. So in creating this model, I'm going to create a migration file at once. That's for our table. So I'll put m flag for migration. So the post model has been created, and the migration file has been created to create. We can make our controller PHP Artisan make controller, call it post. Remember the admin / post controller. Yes, then instead of basic, we're going to be using resource. Yes, we want to reference a model. The name of the model is post model. Then that to be created here. You can actually see the post controller, and you can see the model it's actually making reference to, which is the post model. So in case you don't actually have PHP extension pack, you can actually write that on the terminal PHP Artisan make colon controller, then you call it post controller, then you put the arrow flag. So your arrow flag is supposed to be resource dash resource, not just a single dash resource. Then if you want to reference the model, so you can put dash model. The model here is post. Has a model here, so it's equal to model is equal to post. So with this, you can actually create this same using what we just did with Control Shift P. So you can use this command. So there's no need for me pressing enter here, since I already have created this post controller. If I do this, they'll tell me the controller already exists. Okay, it will create actually, because I didn't but it will create outside my admin controller. So you can actually see it here. But this is not what I want. So I'll delete this. So when you're creating, ensure that ensure you put your admin / post controller. Admin / post controller here. So it will be created inside of your admin folder. Now if I click this, it tell you that controller already exists. So we haven't actually created the resource controller. Let's actually use our resource controller in our route. So on this route, you're going to be using a resource controller here, which is this is how to actually use your resource controller. So you have a route called resource. Inside the resource, you give the route a name, which is post. Then you use the post controller you just created. So if you come to this colon and you do control space, if you have PHP IntelliFence installed, there will be a suggestion for you to have this use admin post controller automatically here. But if you don't actually have this instruction, you have to type it yourself. Use aphstick controllers admin / post controller. Now the thing with this resource controller is that in the controller already they have different methods for handling different processes during our that will be needed during our creation of posts. So you can actually see the index, create, store, show, edit, update, and destroy. So this resource controller is specifically for CRUD operation. That's the create, retrieve, update, and delete operation. So you don't actually need to create this method. The resource controller makes it easy in terms of creating those methods. So unlike what we did in categories, in the time for link post, you're not going to be creating that. So what that question you might actually ask is that, oh, I'm actually just using resource here. There's nothing like get, there's nothing like push, there's nothing like put, there's nothing like delete. Now, for you to actually see the associated routes with this resource routes, we are going to do that, or we are going to see that using this command php artisan route list. So the moment you type this, you're going to see the various routes that are associated with our resource routes. So remember the name of the route, the URL is post. So you can actually see here, you can see admin / the first this you're seeing here is a get route, which is admin / post. Now inside of this route, you see the respective route name, which is post.index. One thing about this route, resource route, is that it takes the dot index is from the name of the the method inside the controller. So this is index. That's the first page you're going to see for when you want to make your post. So you see admin post.index. The second one is admin forward slash post. Is the post method, which is post.store. This is when you want to store your post in your database, which is this here. Then you still have a delete route, a get route again, post.create. This is when you want to create your post. So these various posts, this is a get route to post.show. This is when you want to show a single post. So we actually know update, you know what update does, you know what destroy do. So you know what I'm going to also be teaching what edit is, because you can see actually the this thing for edit or update, they're almost the same thing. So we are going to be looking at all that here. Then in addition to this, the next thing we are going to be doing in this blog is that we are going to be actually using an AI tool or an AI agent. So for this case, we are going to be using the name of the AI agent we're going to be using is DeepSeek. You can actually use any AI agent of your choice. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Gemini, you can use DeepSeek like I am using. You can also use Claude, you can use Grok, any AI agent of your choice. You can actually use it for this tutorial. So we are going to be using AI agent because it's quite it will make your development faster. But one of the things about using AI agent is that you actually need to have idea of what you're doing. And also, any code the AI agent generates, you would actually need to understand it. So that's why it's not actually advisable for beginners to use AI, because you'd have to like know what you're doing before you integrate AI. Except maybe you are very prepared to like once the AI is generating the code, you still ask the AI to explain what it's generating. So in that case, you know what you're actually copying and what you're using. So having that knowledge also in your lab your applications too, in this VS Code, you can also get an AI agent here in your extension. One of the AI agents you can actually get is Gemini. You can get Gemini, which is this one, Gemini Code Assist. You can actually get this too. It will help. And also, if you can't, you can also get Copilot. You can get Copilot. Copilot is actually a GitHub. It's a GitHub AI. So if you have GitHub registered on your VS Code, you can actually get Copilot. But if you don't actually, you can't get Copilot, you can actually use Gemini Code Assist. So I think that'll be it for this video. From the next video, we are going to be creating a blog post. So thank you for staying till this time. See you in my next video.